Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel, and I guess it's would be appropriate to welcome me back to the channel too, since I took a little bit of time off. And I want to apologize for taking so long to get back with episode 4 here. We are working on this track here that's a State of Trance style trance track. And this is where we left off right here with this kind of the drop melody. So anyways, let's jump right in here. Yeah, I just kind of had to take a break because I had a lot of things going on with my day job. I work in the petrochemical industry, and there were some pipeline issues, and so my hours increased at my day job quite a bit. And then we had to take out a tree here at my house, remove a tree, and basically the lawn with it, and put in a new lawn and new trees. So not making excuses, but also it was a good break creatively. So sometimes I just get stuck and, kind of walk away for a couple, 3 weeks and come back and with a fresh mind is a good thing to do also. Alrighty. So anyways, like I was saying, this is where we left off with kind of the drop melody. Let me play it, turn it up and play it again. Okay, and then now over here, I was kind of playing around a few days after the last episode in my mind with a kind of a new idea. And so what I came up with is to start not necessarily on the root note of the whole track, but to start off at a D, then go to the B, then go back to the root note of the track. And then at the very end, go back up to A major, okay? So let me play what I've got here for you. And okay, so I think that has the potential for more impact, and so I think I'm going to leave it that way. And, sometimes it sounds better in your mind after you do work on a track and you're kind of away from your house and out at your job or what have you, and better ideas kind of pop into my mind, and so it's kind of a good thing to come back and get them down before you forget. So I think that works out a lot better. And another thing that I'm thinking of doing is maybe slowing down this track just a little bit. 136 is kind of up there, getting close to the uplifting trance beats per minute. So if I lowered it down to 132, which is kind of right in the pocket of what this kind of track is, which would be kind of trance 2.0, this in the style that you would hear on A State of Trance. So let's give that a listen. Okay, so I'm just going to keep it right there for right now. Oh, and one other thing that I did is I kind of played around with these basses a little bit. We have this bass acids. We have a sub bass here. Let's just go to the intro beats here. Whoops. Let's go to the intro beats here. And let's mute the melodics. Whoop, not solo, let's mute them. Okay, I'm kind of adjusting the tempo there because that 132 is kind of not used to that, but let's keep it at 132. And so what I did is I also didn't feel like the bass was filling up the soundscape as much as I would like it. So because I had before, I had taken this angry top And I'd gone in here and I'd taken the wide and I'd turned it all the way down across all the oscillators, okay? Now I've gone back in there and I've turned them back up to a certain extent. And then I've come in here with a stereo imager, so they're not all the way wide now. And I've kind of narrowed it down just a little bit to give room for, okay, yeah, this is a big sounding bass and you can really hear it real well, but I don't want it to fight with the leads. It's very subtle, but it will help in letting everything shine and shine through. Now let me unmute these. All right, so that's kind of a rundown of the little adjustments, little housekeeping that I did, and then this, obviously the new part over here. And so what I want to do is I want to stretch out the drums, because it's very limited right now. It's just kind of basically to flesh the idea out. And so I want to kind of find something to kind of enhance what we're hearing there, okay? So what I'm going to do is I think that I'm going to put, because right now we don't have a real good off hat. All right, an open hat. So let me add a software instrument. I'm going to go into Native Instruments battery. Let's see here. I've got some new packs. See if I can find them. Lucid open hi-hat kit. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to all right. Just going to play and see how they sound here. I like that one. Okay, I think it's going to be that one. I like that one. Yeah, so anyways, I upgraded to the Complete 13, and I've got about, I don't know how many battery kits I'm going to get with all the free expansions that you get with that. I got the Complete 13 Ultimate. So I'm probably picking up probably 400 battery kits across all the different genres. This happens to be trance right here. So let me record this in. All right. Quantize those out. Let's get them all the same lengths. Okay, like right there. Just that velocity. Don't want them to hit too hard. Not a real fan of that. All right. Okay, and obviously, and later on in this video, I'm going to do a mix leveling. I'm going to level everything out and kind of put a quick mix on it to make everything shine. Okay, and I want to add a loop in there too. So let me add a audio track, and let's go searching for a loop here. Okay, and let's go to Dave Parkinson's drum loops, and we are at 132, so let's go to 134 here. Let's open that up. All right, that's obviously not going to be in time, so I'm going to do the well, let's just keep looking here, okay? Let's get back there to the... And let's see where we're at here. Back up here. Okay, there we go. That's more our style right there. Okay. Bring this back into line. Let's do the flex time. See how we... Okay, so now what I need to do is make this my own by going in here with the tool, marquee tool. Get rid of that clap. Let's see what we can come up with here. All right, that's good. Let's skip up here. Trying to piece something together with the marquee tool here. Make my own loop. This might do the trick right here. All right, let's loop that. Okay. So what we need to do in this case is get rid of this. That. See how that sounds? It's going to sound a little weird. Whoop. Okay. All right. Okay, I like that a lot. So what we're going to do here is make a new audio track. Whoops. And what I want to do is I want to listen to make sure I didn't introduce any pops. Whoop. Now you can hear some of the artifacts from the time stretch in there a little bit, but I'm not really worried about it. Kind of that sound. Okay, there is a click on the end of that. So what I want to do is do a fade out, get rid of that, and a fade in. Okay. Okay, so that repeats good, so we're all set there. Okay, so this Pluck Arp, which is really bothering me in a couple aspects. All right. And I want to stretch these out. Okay. Okay. Let's go 16th. There we go. All right, so we'll just keep that there in reserve. All right. Let's see what it sounds like over here. Our new drums. Okay, that's not sounding, and actually it's another thing that I did. Wasn't satisfied with the amount of sub that I was getting right here. Just out of this note. Let me mute this. Just going to clean a little bit of the low end with a high pass filter here. Okay, and this sub bass I don't like, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to change the MIDI right off the bat. Whoops. Okay. 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 Gonna change out the, gonna go with, let's see, Reactor. Another diving into my new collection again here, and they've got a, okay, I don't want Reactor blocks, I want Contour, which is an amazing sounding synth, especially for bass. I've just found that out playing around with it today, so I'm going to see what we can come up with here. Okay. Obviously not that one. Okay. Their mapping is obviously a little bit different. Seems to have a lot more sub. Okay. Okay, we'll stick with that. Use that LFO tool to take a little bit of the front edge off of that, because it's, if I turn the LFO tool off, you can really hear it. In fact, let me just go in here and see if I can figure it out here. Yeah, I'm not real familiar with this synth and the type of synthesis that it's using. I just like the preset. So just going to use the LFO tool to take a little bit of the front end of that off without sacrificing too much of the timing. Let's see. Okay, so now what I want to do is go in, and one of the things that I want to do is really define the kick and the bass, clean it up as much as I possibly can. So let me change this. Okay, solid. All right, let's. Okay. Lucid Open Hi-Hat, which is the name of the sound library. All right. Oh, no wonder. Didn't even have the LFO tool turned back on. Okay. Okay, and you can kind of hear the buzzing bees that are constantly there with that angry top. All right, I want to do away with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a basic rebalance of the mix to accentuate the most important part of any dance track, which is the kick and the bass, and then the drums, and then the melodic parts. So it's so starting off with this. Got a Cashmere on here. And I'm doing this with headphones, which is not optimal. Later on, as this project gets fleshed out, I'm going to do a full video on mixing with all of the other elements mixed in, added. Okay, so a little EQ here. Okay, I'm adding a little bit of punch there. Gonna adjust the cue a little bit, maybe, whoops. Okay, just trying to hear a little bit more sub in there. Okay, start adding the closed hats. In fact, I'm going to start adding okay. Don't want to overdo it on the highs. Okay. Again, a lot of highs there. Maybe add a little bit here. Okay, want to spread that out. So let's get a little infected mushroom on the subject here. There we go. Now the clap is the biggie, so I'm going to do that all on its own here. Okay, this channel EQ will serve as a good high pass filter. Get rid of all the gunk in the bottom. Whoops. And I've got the pre-delay here. Okay. I'm just going to do a rough boost there at the kind of the bounce back from the pre-delay. Put a little compression on there. Add a little EQ, sweetening EQ. That thing doesn't sound like it needs a whole lot of EQ at all. Maybe a little taming. There's the old ARP. Okay, now kick and bass. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is kind of clean up that low end and not have as much of the same frequencies playing by two different instruments, like for example, the off bass. It's got some around here. But then if I add in the bass acids, usually on these type of basses, it usually lands somewhere between 125 hertz and 175 hertz is where you cut, like the top line of a rolling bass line, same thing. Okay, so now let's see how much impact we lost here. Whoops. We changed the bass. Yeah, so I'm going to have to leave that pretty much the way it was. Because I'm not hearing a lot of mud when I turn this down here. Whoops. Because they have their own groove. Okay, now all of these need to be put into a group. And they need to be brought back into balance because I basically changed the balance in relation to each other and ended up turning them up quite a bit. So and I want to also check it against the Okay, and I'm still open to the possibility of changing that kick, so that keep on the lookout for that. Okay, what I'm looking for here is trying to find out what is clogging up this mix. And with headphones, it's kind of hard. And so I kind of have to use these different tools. And, you know, I hear the symptoms of a clogged up mix, which means there's too much energy in the wrong place. And it's usually, with me, it's always the drums. And so what I want is a straight line across here, just like this, with the setting on 3 dB per octave on this particular EQ. Okay. So we're getting closer now when I crank this limiter up to check to see how everything is. Starting to sound a little bit better, but I just wanted to kind of balance things out just a little bit right there. Oh, we've also got the pads here. Okay, and I can see right now that the leads are a little bit loud. Okay, obviously that's not a complete mix, and there's a lot of sorting out to do and balancing. So let me try to get sort of a quick little arrangement going here. Okay, we're not gonna need this, so let me just, and we'll paste it over here into Oblivion. All right. Okay, so we want to do away with potentially all this, all these. All right, so let's play around with that kick. Let's see if we can come up with something a little bit better. I like that one. That one's pretty raucous. I like that one. Okay, so interesting. It's got a weird envelope on that, doesn't it? What did I do here? Hear that? What? I want to get rid of that. Okay, so basically what I have here is kind of like the beginnings of an arrangement, and I rebalanced the mix, and there still is, those basses are going to be a burden, a thorn in my side for the entire mix, producing this entire track. Oh, okay. Because they were wide open. Probably going to be somewhere around here. Between 9. Everything from above 9 to 10 is not going to be allowed to live because of the buzzing bee sound. So. Not to say that I'm not going to introduce a lot of the highs of the bass and open it all the way up while simultaneously filtering out the lows at some point. There's a lot of things we can do as we progress on here, to build the anticipation, build the emotion in the track. But for right now, we're going to pretend like we're in the drop. And we're going to be right around 95 in the drop, so. Okay. Oh boy, look what I did. Okay, here we go. Okay, kind of chasing my tail a little bit here, but okay, so we got intro beats. Then the question that is asked next is, what do we want to introduce next? So let's see here. Drum loop, 16th hat. Maybe the Pluck Arp. A lot quieter than that, obviously. It'll be fading in. Okay, so what we're going to do here is mute those. Add a fab filter, Simplon. Filter those way down. Okay, then we build those up, like so. Okay, so I'll just have to work on that, but starting to kind of get the track piece together, and then maybe throw in the pads right over here. So a lot of different ideas. Then slowly fade the bass in. And that's what we'll be covering on the next episode, is building the intro all the way to the breakdown, and then the fall into the breakdown. And then after that, we got to work on the breakdown. And then we already have the drop pretty much done, so. Yeah, I think that bass is kind of like, not the bass, the kick drum is kind of halfway between a modern kind of 128 progressive trance bass and a progressive or a uplifting house or uplifting trance bass. So anyways, that's all I have today. I'm going to edit this down. And thanks for being so patient again. And we're going to get this track back on track. All right. Thank you very much for watching.